a startup pitch. So this is first time as part of AI to Future conference that we have a startup pitch. It's going to be exciting, especially difficult for me and for organization, because we have to manage between online and live and startups who have only 3 minutes to present and so on. But I think that we will manage, and it's going to be great, and we're going to find the 3 best AI startups, because it wasn't so difficult, even we think it will be, to find 10 AI startups that are worthy to present here. So I believe that we're going to have a nice presentation. Just to check if the guys from the VC funds are online. Guys, do you hear me? Can we put them a little bit on the screen as a gallery view? Hi, guys.
Hey.
Okay, if there is somebody among you who don't have a camera switch on, please do so if you're going to ask the question and so on. Do you hear me okay?
Yeah? Yes, everything is fine.
Okay, great. So when we finish with the first startup, then I will see you again in this gallery view. If you have the question, as I said, just raise the hand. I will see it and I will give you opportunity to ask the question. Be brief, because we only have 5 minutes for the startup to answer, and then we have to go on the second startup. Okay, great. I think that we are all set up. So we have the first startup. Please, when he goes up, give him a big warm round of applause, because he will need it. You know, this is not the first time that he's pitching, but it's always, like the first time when you go on the stage. So today's with us, it's the Leon. Leon is coming from the startup CroAI, and they are trying to deal with the problems in agricultural world. So Leon, you have exactly 3 minutes to present your story, starting now.
Thank you.
And applause, of course. This is...
Thank you. Okay, it works. Hi, my name is Leon, and I am the co-founder of CroAI, where we are working hard to bring you organic produce at lower prices and greater availability. So, how do we do that? Well, certainly not by using harmful and soil-polluting herbicides, nor by using tons of single-use and hard-to-recycle plastic sheets, and most definitely not using painstaking and backbreaking manual weeding work. We will, however, supply these organic farmers with this. We have built this prototype of a lightweight, autonomous, solar-powered, GPS-guided robot that will work 24/7 in the field, killing weeds one by one, making sure your organic vegetables grow without competition. And it will do so using artificial intelligence, computer vision, and a very powerful laser beam. You can see on footage here just how effective the laser beam is. To show you that there is tangible demand for organic produce, we have found stats from 3 European countries which have doubled or tripled their organic production to suit the demand. We will sell our machines for 3,000 euros per unit, but do keep in mind that depending on conditions, you may need more than 1 machine per hectare. A weeding service will also be available for 500 euros per hectare. We do have competition, but our competitors focus only on large-scale farmers, whereas we focus on small and medium-scale farmers. Why? In Europe, there are just under 1 million vegetable farmers, and the average land area that they farm on is just 1.7 hectares. This is our team, 2 engineering students. My job is to source components, design and manufacture the robot's frame and mechanical parts, and to handle business development. Milivoje's job is to work on electronics, software, firmware, and most importantly, the neural network. We began our work in July last year, and since then we have built 2 prototypes, but I'm very sorry I cannot show you the second prototype because of patenting laws. We have participated in many competitions, incubators, accelerators. We have registered our company here in Croatia, and we've even planted a small testing pumpkin field. Right now, we are approaching our goal of talking to 100 farmers. We have talked to 89 so far, and we're resolving the last set of technical challenges towards a minimally marketable product. We are also seeking a 100,000 euro investment. This will help us file for patents, expand our manufacturing capabilities, source components, and conduct research on laser treatment of weeds. Then we'll produce a small test batch of robots with which we'll conduct field trials all across Croatia with farmers who have expressed very high interest in our solution. Then we'll enter the Croatian and subsequently the European market. Thank you.
Okay, great, and applause for Leon. Leon, you fought bravely, you did it great. So, question from the guys from the VC industry. We have two here live. Stevica, Vedran, any question from your side? Or are we going to... Stevica, I have one question. And can I get, please, video here? Okay. Okay, Marcin is second.
Thank you for the presentation. On what valuation are you raising 100K?
We believe that the less the investment we get, the more risky it will be for us. Because once we file for patents and once we put our knowledge out there for the world, it's clock ticking. And more patents we
file... So the number is?
100,000 euros. That's probably a patent that will cover a few European countries.
What is the valuation you are seeking for your startup?
The question is how much equity are we willing to give? 10 to 15%, depending on conditions.
Thanks.
Okay, Marcin, you had a question. You unmute and ask, and Belizer later.
All right, I think it was Michal, but I have a question as well. Right now, in terms of your team, how many people are you in the team and how many people work on the data side of the business?
So we have 2 people and that's all we need right now. We are very dedicated and we cover all the skill sets that we need. We're making excellent progress on the neural network. We are making excellent progress on the autonomy part as far as GPS guidance is concerned. We'll also not use very expensive GPS. We'll instead rely on image processing to help us understand where we are on the field. And these are all areas where we are progressing very quickly. We are also making progress on our second prototype.
Okay, great. Thanks. Another question? Rob, then Kozmin.
How do the economics work for the farmers? How do you possibly make this economically rational for them as a small farmer to justify either buying or renting this machine?
Very simple. For example, when we have organic sugar beet, farmers get more than double per weight that they sell. Because if you want to sell an organic product that's processed, you need organic sugar. Every component needs to be organic, so there's a strong demand for that. Also, many farmers do not grow crops that are very labor intensive because they cannot scale. They will sow wheat or corn because it's simpler. But if weeding is not a problem, then we have a completely different understanding of economics for farmers.
Okay, great. Kozmin?
So how do you envision the commercialization? I mean, do you simply want to sell the robot or do you want to license or do you want to rent it or offer it as a service? What do you think it will work?
We thought about all of these options. The best model will depend upon our technology readiness level. For example, in the very beginning, it will be simpler to rent the machines so we have more control over what's happening. Later, we'll be selling them and possibly even open sourcing the hardware part to make sure that we have as much market penetration as possible.
Okay, great. Thanks. Belizer?
When do you expect first sale or commercial contract?
I had a conversation with a local farmer who's willing to, as soon as we get our minimally marketable product, he will be offering his field for testing purposes. So that's probably in the 3 months, but that's not realistic in terms of scaling. For scaling, we'll need at least 3 years.
Okay, and I believe there is a last one question.
Yeah, thanks. Technical one. So on what learning sets you base the current prototypes, and how do you identify what needs to be removed with the laser? And is that computed locally by the machine, or it's connected somehow to the some cloud computer somewhere?
all processing will be done on the computer, no need for internet connection. We are building a neural network that will be able to run on the computer that we have on the robot.
Okay, and the time is up. Thank you a lot for question. Thanks again. One warm applause for Leon. He break the ice. He did it great. It wasn't easy. Thank you, Leon. But you really did it great. So we're going to the second startup presentation. The name of the company is Cloudonia. So they're developing something for image recognition software for retail industry. This is where they see their strong points. So today with us is Ante Laušić. He's one of the co-founder of the startup. Ante, I think you will do great. So can we see his presentation going up? Ante, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Željko. So hello, my name is Ante Laušić. I'm going to present you today our project codenamed SOLA. So what we are trying to solve is basically we are trying to solve suboptimal retail execution. That's the problem that we can see in the stores. Is manifested as an out of stock. It can be also manifested as that items or products are poorly displayed, so they are less or they are lower visibility. And for example, planograms, they are not compliant with the planograms that were agreed. All that can lead to the big wastes or big damages in lost sales, lost brand perception, and lower customer satisfaction. So we are trying to solve this problem by applying computer vision and technology and AI technology to help retailers and manufacturers of consumer goods to basically optimize their retail execution efforts. Our product is basically, we have a mobile app that sales rep stands in front of the shelf, takes a picture. The picture is then uploaded to our cloud, analyzed, and the results are being pulled back to the mobile app and to the back office where they can be further analyzed. So how does it look like? We had to solve the problem of object detection. This is specifically high density object detection, which was a very big problem. Then we had to classify the detected objects to get basically the picture or basically the analysis of the shelf with the item, with the products and which product is on the item. We did our research, and based on the data that we managed to find, we estimated the global market size for such products is around up to $250 million. We plan to basically sell our product by software as a service model. We target for the moment FMCG companies. We are very flexible at pricing. We target to acquire at least 15 customers by end of 2022, and we calculate average revenue per customer around 3,000 euros. Competition, there is existing competition, but it's rather low, and they're very dispersed around the globe. There are direct competitors who are trying to do something similar to us, and then there are the indirect competitors who are basically doing something else, but can also have this functionality inside. In few words, what are our main advantages is basically we were able to develop robust and high accurate algorithms. We have a strong integration and partnership with the leading sales for automation vendor, which can introduce us to the big number of clients, and we have deep industry knowledge. Our core team is basically the combination of experience and youth. And so far, we managed to build the algorithms, MVP, and integration with the SFE vendor.
Okay, thank you.
These 3 minutes are really going fast, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's always going fast when you need to pitch. So 3 minutes is up. We are now open for the question. Vedran from the audience, please.
Can you detect an object that's not a bottle? For example, something like chips.
Yes, so far we started developing the models just for the bottles, but we are introducing new product categories and involving the products. So our goal is to cover all the assortment in the retail store. So including the boxes, including the bags, and so on.
Okay.
At the moment, we didn't test it on the bags.
Okay, thank you. Guys, questions? Raya?
It's Todor here. I have a question.
Okay, Todor, then Raya.
Yeah. Sorry, Raya. So, can you explain more about your business model? How exactly you're going to monetize? What do you mean by SaaS?
Well, basically, as I said, this is the cloud-based service. What we see as our go-to-market strategy, we integrated with the vendor which basically has the Salesforce automation tool. So this is the tool that already is installed in thousands of mobile phones, and that's being used by the sales reps of lots of companies, and we are providing the AI subsystem for visual recognition for that tool. So, and we have a partnership agreement with that vendor in which we are sharing the revenue from this. We are going to share the revenue from this product.
Okay, great. Raya, question.
Quick question from me. Is the solution live already, and have you integrated it with any clients?
Not yet. We are planning to have the first pilot with the customer by the end of the year. We have the MVP up and running, which can be shown, but it's not live in production yet.
Okay, thanks. Next questions.
If no one else has questions, I can, because you flicked through the team very quickly. Can you go back to the team and just tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Can you see the presentation?
I can. You don't need the slide. Just tell us about who's behind the solution.
So basically, we have a team of already 5 full-timers. There is our co-founder and CEO. He's over 30 years of experience in enterprise IT, so he has been in everything regarding the enterprise IT. Then I'm here, which I have 20 years of experience in FMCG and retail industry, and we have a team of 3 people who are data scientists focused exclusively on computer vision problems and doing on this area. They have also multiple years of experience, and they standard data, data experience, data science profiles.
Okay, great. Teams, Vedran, you had a question.
Are you guys raising any investment? And if yes, how much and for what?
So far, we are founded by our founders. We haven't raised any investments so far.
But are you planning to?
That's why we are here. So we are presenting ourselves, and if there are interest, we will gladly be discussing it.
Okay, thanks. Any more question? Okay, then is it. Thank you, Ante. Question for Ante. Question. Applause for Ante. Sorry, guys, I've been on the stage very long today. The next presentation, it's about health industry. It's about early stage cancer detection. Unfortunately, Velimir supposed to be here today with us, but yesterday he was tested positive for COVID. He's feeling fine. He's doing great. So he will be with us online. Velimir, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you are a little bit foggy. Maybe it's not. It's the problem with the focus.
Better now. No,
maybe this is because of the COVID.
Yes.
Okay, but what we need to see clearly is your presentation, so I believe it's going to be fine.
Yes, it will be fine.
Okay.
We will make it simple.
Yeah, can you share it? Share screen. It's okay. You're doing it. Okay, great. Velimir, you have 3 minutes. Use it wisely. We will try to measure the time, and I will stop you after 3 minutes is passed. Go ahead.
Thank you. So we are on early stage cancer classification startup specialized on skin cancer. Why we're doing it is because right now the skin cancer classification detection is actually really dated. So process, it is very long, it is painful, and it has high risk of spreading the cancer to the body. What we are doing is we are using in-house developed AI to do the full detection, classification, diagnosis. It is safe. It detects the cancer location, the progress rate detection, and we added an automatic scheduling with doctors who are specialists in oncology who want to partner with our company. Right now, it's a very ugly user interface, but we are working on the new design. It runs on a mobile app in your pocket, and we actually support a wide range of mobile phones from older to up to the newest devices. The oldest device that we are supporting is Android 4.1. Our competition right now is Silo AI, but there are only a solution available for research institutions and hospitals. They are not available to wide public and actually to everyone to use it. On the development of our app, we actually consulted a lot with medical expertise and doctors. We have the 96.7 recognition rate for cancer. We do not require any Wi-Fi. Everything is locally hosted on the phone. It's radiation-free, user-friendly, and we try to have the real-time response rate. Right now, the cancer detection market in the world is $249 billion per year. We are hoping in the first year to have the market share of at least $5 million, and in the first 5 years of market to get 3 to 3.5% of the market share. Our retail channels are direct to customers over app stores, and we will have free subscription plans starting from €269 per year up to $11.83. We put the prices because everyone has $2.99, $11.99, and we want it just to be different, and it's just a few cents of difference. We have a company 8 patents in AI and robotics. We did clinical tests with Harvard Med School since one of our co-founders is in Harvard Med School. We partnered with few research institutions. We are self-funded, and right now we have the user base of 300 test users. Currently, we are in the POC and MVP stage, and in 3 weeks we are going full market release. And our plan is by April next year to enter American and Asian markets. Our team consists of me. I have experience in AI development and cybersecurity. Our colleague Monica, who is an oncologist on a PhD in Harvard Med School, and Susan Gonzalez, who worked in the greater LA area in VC industry. We are right now raising the seed round of €35,000 that we need for hardware and equipment for development and for marketing release and marketing. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Velimir. He can get applause and he will hear it. Just because you are at home and just because you had a COVID, I give you 30 seconds more, but don't worry, we wish that you be well, and as we see, you are doing well. So first, Velizar, have a question for you. And then Rob.
Velimir, do you need to go through any certification before going live on the market?
We don't need to have any certifications because we are not marketing to research institutions and hospitals. We are marketed to general public, but we are not replacing the classical method. We are just making it easier, and we want to provide a solution when someone has detected cancer or melanoma, that they get the automatic scheduling in next 10 days with a specialist for a checkup. That's actually what we are also advertising in the app.
Thank you. Rob, you had a question.
Yeah, how have you trained the data set? Do you have proprietary data for training this data set? And then do you have any sort of clinical validations? You mentioned detection rate, but not like specificity and sensitivity.
We have proprietary data, and a majority of our data we got from Stanford and Harvard.
Okay.
But do you have any clinical validation? Have you done any clinical studies?
Yes. And we are actually still doing it. A lot of the clinical studies we did in Harvard Med School.
Okay, thanks. Another question? Here, Stevica, Vedran. No? Okay, so it's Cosmir.
How do you plan to manage the false negatives? Because, if you have a false positive, it's just that someone gets a little bit panicked and will go to a doctor and everything is fine. But what about the other way around? If actually your app doesn't detect what it's supposed to detect?
We actually set the AI based on points. If it gets a bar out scale, 60 points or higher, we actually send it to the professional doctor.
Yeah, I think it's more on a legal side, this part. I think you need to check it out. I mean, not to be sued by some of your users.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Belizar.
And what is the typical user journey? I have a bump on my skin and I decide to look for your application and download it.
You install the app, you open the app, take the picture. The algorithm will run against the picture and give you back the results.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Any question? Todor?
Yeah. So can you give us a little bit more info about what you're going to achieve with the 35K you are looking to raise? So what kind of milestones you're going to hit?
Yes. So since we are going in 3 weeks, what we are going to achieve with 35K, we actually hope to have it for marketing, for advertising on social media and everything, and to buy equipment that we need to train our models better, since we are not doing any cloud computation to save cost.
Okay.
Right now we are doing everything on bare metal PC.
Thanks. We have time for a few questions more. If you like to ask it. Marcin, yes, please.
How much have you invested so far?
Right now we self-funded $20,000.
Okay, and how did you finance the patents? Because you mentioned you have 8 patents. Are they pending? Are they granted?
They are pending.
Okay, and what's their coverage? What's their coverage?
For the patents?
Yeah.
They are not connected to these projects closely. They actually started with another project that we did that failed because it was impossible to raise any venture capital when we were doing artificial intelligence navigation for blind people. We have patents in object detection, and we managed to do something that many companies cannot do, and that is to have high precision rate on different camera type lenses and different weather conditions and different speed of movement.
Okay, so 30 seconds for the last question. Zsolt?
How many users do you expect to have from that 35K that you're going to spend on marketing? What is your CAC, your estimation?
I cannot tell you. We actually didn't think about it.
Okay, and with this we finished Velimir presentation. So you see, Velimir, you can sweat even not from Corona, but from the presentation that you have in front of the investor. Thank you a lot for doing this presentation. We wish you all the well and that you get better. If there is going to be the problem, we hope so. We will not have any problem. So thank you a lot for giving and telling your story. And it's because this is a health problem that you are trying to fix. We wish that you be very successful. You're doing a great job. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, and now we are switching back to the room. With us, there is AI technology, artificial intelligence for trends and event forecasting in energy sector. So today with us is Antun Kraljevic. Sorry, too many names at once. So Antun will give the presentation about his startups. Antun, please have the floor. This is a switcher. You have 3 minutes starting now.
Hi, so I'm Anton Kraljevic, CEO of the AI Technologies Limited company, and I'll be talking about the AI for power systems. So, as a commitment to the green agenda, the EU Parliament voted for another new ambitious plan, and the plan is ambitious simply because, well, there are some hidden and unknown issues, like in previous plans. Basically, the electrical grids these days are hard to manage simply because they depend on unpredictable and basically weather-dependent wind and solar power. So in general, if automation systems cannot cope with this, the decisions are based on gut feeling. And, you know, it happened before that if those decisions were wrong, whole economies would be affected. So the solution is an AI-based autopilot as a decision support system for these operators. So how we do it? We actually we have most of the functions running in a backend, basically as complex simulations with fast algorithms, really fast. So basically, thanks to AI, we can do within few minutes what would be needed several weeks or even months using conventional methods. So just in general, we have been doing pilots, and basically we are paid pilots, and we are now doing next year real projects, main projects. So we will actually grow from some 80K this year to at least $500,000 next year. But what we're targeting is product development. And so we're looking for partners who will help us in this transition from project-based to product-based business. So basically the market, well, it depends on the product, but each component could be a separate product. Yet the fact is that it would be much better, it's similar to this iPhone story, it would be much better to keep them combined. So we're targeting 2% of the market share for emerging technologies for power systems. That equals roughly 16 million plus yearly. And truth is that the product can be also easily adopted to other industries. We have been supported by partners and the local startup community. We have relied on experts with different backgrounds. Because, you know, if you have the right industry knowledge and the engineering rigor, you can actually do more with less. And we are ready to deploy AI in conjunction with blockchain and smart meters. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Anton. You had a fight with on stage. There was a stress and the microphone, but we are going to fix it. Yeah, no the problem.
Thanks.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So first question from Stevica, please.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. You got me puzzled. What exactly is your product? That's the first question. And the second question, you said you're going into fundraising mode. How much would you be raising and on what valuation?
So first question, basically, in general, all the power systems, the electrical grids are run by some national dispatching centers, some centers where people are actually monitoring everything and so on and controlling. But basically, they are overwhelmed by data. So they need some support to, you know, to somehow handle this many data, especially in critical situations. They have just few minutes to make critical decisions, and otherwise you can have even a blackout, which means that whole countries are without power. The second question, basically, if we raise money, we will actually discuss some 10 or 15% depending on the valuation.
Okay, how much?
Well, we believe it's roughly 200,000 to 300,000 or even more.
Okay, thanks. Guys, Belizar.
Can you tell us more about the projects that you had with power companies so far?
So basically, those were pilots. We were coping with the outage prediction and the so-called N-K criterion. I think it's too much to tell about here, but the outage prediction is pretty simple. So you have external storms or something like events like storms, and basically we're predicting whether a certain storm will simply switch off a certain power line or another piece of the power system.
So you're using inputs from weather models?
Among others, yes.
Okay, thanks, Belizar. Another question? Anybody from the audience maybe have a question? Okay, Marcin.
What's your business model? How do you make money?
So right now it's a project based, and the thing is that most of the power utilities prefer project-based approach because of and also they prefer to have their products in-house. But most of the data can be actually easily hashed, so we would be allowed to transfer it without jeopardizing any critical data through internet. We just hash it on one end, and without several different keys, you wouldn't be able to, hack it. And we could simply deliver it from one end to the other and have an SaaS service. Sorry.
Okay, thanks. Yes, Marcin.
You work with national grid operators or regional ones? And these are public entities?
Yes, the pilots we had were with the national government entities, transmission system operators.
So when you want to, when you plan your commercial rollout, it means that you will have to go through public procurement procedure.
Yes, if you're talking about the public transmission system operators, the same system. There are also the distribution system operators, which are very often private companies. There, it would be a different story, a different case.
Okay, thanks. Vedran?
You said that next year you plan to do like €500,000 of revenue. Can you tell me on which markets?
So here in Croatia, so basically, and probably in the region. So not probably, certainly. So basically the story is that we had pilots and they actually, they turned out well. So we will have main projects. They will actually go to deploy everything in real time.
Okay, great, thanks. Any more question? No? This is it. Okay, thank you, Anton, again. One applause. Yeah. So we are going from Zagreb to Montenegro, Crna Gora, and we are going to talk with Mladen. Mladen is stationed there. Of course, there is a problem to come to Croatia right now, to travel anywhere these days, but Mladen is ready and he's loaded and he's going to present his startup named Uhura. So Mladen, do you hear us?
Yes, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, of course. You shared your presentation. You have 3 minutes.
One of the greatest challenges in financial industry today is manual reading and understanding of customer contracts and agreements. It is slow, costly, and inefficient process. So we at the Uhura Solution have developed an AI platform that can read and understand customer contracts and agreements just as humans can do, in order to speed up the review process, cut costs, and make decision-making much more efficient. How we do it? We can do it with several types of documents: structured, unstructured, semi-structured, PDF, scanned PDFs, Word, Excel. We go and detect key important data. We give a business meaning to this data, then we provide it to our clients. And based on that, we can trigger some actions. Or we can do accurate contract reviewing, or based on several data sources, we can make automated contract drafting. We work on a market opportunity that will be $1 billion invested in contract intelligence in financial services by 2021. Source IDC World Spending. So we have 2 business models: software as a service for monthly subscription fee for a cloud-based models, or on-premise for one-time migration fee and licensing support fee. Software as a service for small and medium companies, and on-premise for large corporations. We have been incorporated in 2018 in London. 2019 we spent in development. 2020 we did some very successful POSs with some large corporate clients, and in 2021 we are going to do our worldwide expansion. So far, we have raised $800,000 from investors like South Central Ventures, Barclays, and Techstars. About our pilots. With Ernst & Young for their company Enel, we just completed very successful POC that we extracted key important data for electrical bill, and they are very satisfied. We are now in the commercial negotiations. With Raiffeisen Bank, we communicated with 2 of their offices, one in Vienna, one in Sarajevo, with several POCs, one on loan market agreements with Vienna Credit Office, and in Sarajevo, proof of statement, proof of meal allowance. With DZ Bank, we collected several of their contracts. We pointed out several informations, and they were very satisfied. Now we are communicating with them. We have been with Ernst & Young, a technology provider. Our solution is on AWS. We are supported by Barclays Techstars, among other companies I will mention here. That we also communicate with the ABC Tech Group, which is part of Croatian startup scene. And about our team, we have total 12 people in the team, out of which 4 are co-founders. Đuro Stojanović, our CEO, has PhD in digital signal processing. Have worked with Deutsche Telekom. Myself have spent more than 10 years in working Societe Generale on product development with digital products. Bojan Tešić is our chief technical officer, and Blažo Červenica is our chief operation officer. We combine decades of experience working in corporate companies, and we are now targeting worldwide expansion. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, man. Somebody's really trying to reach you, so I hope it's not some kind of important or emergency. No problem. You did it well. Applause for Mladen. He did a great presentation. So, questions? Ryan.
I've got one. Ryan, I'll go first.
So I was wondering who you're competing against and how you got there.
Well, there are several competitors in the worldwide market. There's Agent Technologies, Kira, Luminance, Coins by JP Morgan, UiPath. Compared to them, our solution is giving a higher scale of accuracy with much lesser data set that we are providing for our clients. So with Vienna model that I just explained, with the loan market agreements, complex contract with 150 pages. They told us openly, client told us that previous partners needed hundreds and hundreds of samples, which we did between 50 and 100 samples for them to provide them the adequate accuracy report. We are now at 95% of cutting costs for the clients in the process.
Okay, thank you. Michal.
From my side, several topics. So for starters, you said that you can extract and understand structured, semi-structured, not structured text. So what do you mean by that? What data sets you are using? Are they proprietary, or are you using some, let's say, open libraries? And then how you guys differ compared to other players that are on the market? And I think they're probably more focused on some verticals like Rossum, Hyperscience, Extracta, Infrared, Tiger, and a few other ones.
Okay, so several questions in one. First of all, we collect data samples from our clients. You can make your own model.
How big is the whole set for now? How many, I don't know, words you gathered?
Yeah, between 50 and 100 examples. For example, with loan market agreement, they did an analysis, which is 150 to 200 pages. We took 100 examples and 10 for the testing.
Okay, understood. And regarding the use case, you said that, at least I understood that it's rather general solution. Do you have some use cases that you want to tackle first that would enable you to sell efficiently because the USP is super high in those clients?
Yeah, well, the first use case that we noticed in the financial industry is that everybody knows when you send the documentations for the loan agreement. Someone in the back office, we had that case in the Raiffeisen Bank, someone in the back office has to go through entire that loan package, detect what is inside the documents, and then proceed further with that decision making. We had an example here that in this bank, actually they had 50 people working on 3,000 requests per day. We made 95% of the cutting of the time. This is one of the first use cases that you can be applied. Also in this loan market agreement as well, or in some KYCs or internal audits, so you have to check ID cards, bank statements, and several documents that you can simply go through instead of manually going through one document and another.
Thanks. Next question. Zsolt.
So, two quick questions. Do you have any paying clients already? And the second question is, what is your go-to-market? Are you going to sell directly to these clients, or you go through partners, or?
So far, all of our sales that was done went through the partners, and this was POCs that were paid. POCs, and now we are in a commercial negotiation with them. The solution is ready. It has been with our clients. They are satisfied. Now it's just about commercial negotiation with them. What we need now, which we noticed during the COVID situation, because we are stayed in London, but due to coronavirus, we had to back to Podgorica. We need permanent corporate sales in the United States, UK, and Europe.
Okay, so how much you are raising to build this up?
Right now, in this round, between 1.5 to 2.5 million.
Okay, thanks. Any other question? Stevica?
Just to continue on the last question, on what valuation?
Last valuation will be part of negotiation, everything between 15 to 22, 25%. But this will be the direct negotiation because right now we are on the higher end of the
So that's like 7 to 10 million valuation.
Yeah, if you take that, yeah.
Okay, nice valuation. Any other question? Well done, guys. No? We heard it all? Okay, thanks. And it's 20 seconds to the end, so we finished nicely. Mladen, thank you a lot. We wish you all the best with your startups. Hopefully somebody from the guys who heard you will going to have further communication and connection with you. Thanks again, and say hello to everybody in Montenegro AI community from us.
Thank you very
welcome
much.
to Croatia. Yeah, goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And switching from Montenegro, and we're going back to Zagreb. Hello, Zagreb. Give us your votes. So it is a pleasure to introduce a dear colleague of mine who I know for a few years, Darko Jovišić. He's coming from the company named Robotic AI. They have the paying customers, as I know. They're doing robotic process automatization software. And Darko, so you have 3 minutes. This is a switcher. Amaze the guys.
Thanks, Jacob. So hi, everyone. I'm Darko from Robotic AI, and I would like to thank you for this opportunity. So when you think about the manufacturing, it's highly optimized and efficient industry. But on the other hand side, when you look at the services industry and the back office work and administrative work, it still depends on intensive human labor. And basically, we are treating humans as robots and assigning them meaningless tasks such as copying data from one application to another, compiling reports, and processing transactions. And this is really stupid use of human creativity. So these tasks can be automated through use of software robots, also known as robotic process automation. Robotic process automation is a relatively young industry, but it's the fastest growing enterprise segment, according to the Gartner. There are a lot of vendors in this area, and I'm pretty sure that you heard of UiPath, and probably you heard also about Blue Prism and Automation Anywhere. But there's no clear winner or leader at this stage of development of the industry. Even though the industry is booming, there are some challenges as well. And if you take a look at the recent hype cycle from Gartner, you can see that RPA is going through disillusionment phase, which means that the customers are not getting what they expected. And this has to do a lot with the complexity and scalability of the products that are on the market. And we see our opportunity there. So we've spent the last 2 years developing our enterprise-grade RPA platform, which includes a lot of features that we saw from the field because we were working with the competitive technologies. So we use computer vision, so AI. We included the chatbot for human-robot collaboration. We offer flexibility in licensing models and many other things. We are a team of 9 people with experienced co-founders. But what's more important is that we have customers who recognized our product, and we are live across 3 continents and 5 countries. Some of these customers are competitive wins, and most of the deployments were sold and implemented by our partners, which validates our business model. This year, we are expecting 500K annual revenue, with a 50-50 license services split. And our burn rate is around 25K, which means that we are self-sustainable. At this point, we have 10 paying customers, and we have a really good sales pipeline and year-over-year growth. With that said, we are looking for a seed round funding, especially in two areas: scaling sales and marketing and acquiring new partners, and also developing some cool new features that will involve AI to further differentiate against the competitors. So if you're interested, contact us, and with that, I'm open to questions.
Okay, great. So applause for Darko. Please stand there.
Yep.
Yeah, just so that I don't make... okay. Question for Darko. Vedran.
Can you tell me more about your sales strategy? Are you planning to sell it only through partners, or are you planning to do any direct sales?
For now, we are doing also direct sales because we need to build out the reference list, because it gives ammunition to our partners because they can brag about our clients. But the end goal is actually to most of the revenue to come through partners. And that's where the proceeds will be going, is to find aggressive and agile partners all over the world.
Okay. Cosmin, I saw you raising hand.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand, so I agree with you that the market is not fully consolidated, but however, I mean, you have very, very large player with a lot of funding. I mean, how differentiate yourself? What do you do if, you pitch the same client with, let's say, Automation Anywhere or something like that? What's your USP actually versus your competition?
I was expecting this question. Yeah, if we compare ourselves to UiPath, it's a very bold statement to say that we are much better than them. You are comparing against $10 billion valuated company, but we are better at certain segments. So we are more simple, we are more intimate with the customers and partners. And to me, what's really amazing is that after 1 year, we are able to stand on the line together with those competitors and win them. An example would be OTP Bank, where we competed against Blue Prism, which is corporate solution, and we won. So we have some ideas. Unfortunately, it's too little time to actually show some of the things that we are planning. But we do have a strategy. And if you take a look at what the UiPath and the Blue Prism and everybody else is doing, is that they are going in breadth instead of depth. So UiPath has been adding a lot of solutions that are not core RPA. They have been adding BPM-like functionalities and low code and stuff like that. So we tend to focus more on the depth, so fixing some of the core RPA things that need to be fixed.
Nice answer. Belizar.
What are the terms of your fundraising round?
Yeah, so we are raising 1 million. On the valuation between 4 and 5 pre-money. That's being calculated now by our financial advisors, but we are expecting somewhere in between those figures.
Okay, great. Stevica.
What was your last year's revenue?
Last year's revenue, we had 230K.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Michal.
Yeah, hi there. How big is the tech team currently?
Tech team is 5 full-time and 1 external, and the non-tech team is currently 4 people.
And what's the high-level tech stack?
Sorry?
What's the high-level tech stack? Technology stack.
Tech stack. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's based on .NET Core, mostly. And for the AI part, we are using Python and all these platforms.
Okay, thanks. Another question, Belizar.
Can you describe your typical customer?
Yeah. So currently, typical customer is mostly enterprise customer. So it's currently the whole industry is reaping against the enterprise segment because they have the biggest savings. So finance, banking, telco, insurances, oil and gas, utilities, all these like big companies. But we also have cases with smaller companies. For example, we have Herman, Croatia, which is a global manufacturer. but they have only 20 people in Croatia, and there we automated work of one guy, and we actually saved one FTE for this small company, and they can devote this person to another job. So it's also applicable to SMB space, but the whole industry actually needs to kind of get closer to get cheaper, and we are trying. We also have some new models like pay-per-use, where you actually don't pay for the licenses, you pay for the minutes of the robot work. And we are using this to get closer to the SMB space as well.
Thanks. Further question? No? Okay. Thanks a lot for the great presentation, Darko. One round of applause.
Thanks.
This was a quite amazing presentation. Thank you a lot. Hope that you will receive the seed money that you're searching, because we always cheering for the Croatian startups, to go big in the world, because it makes us look good, not just in tourism, but in the tech sector. So guys made us proud. So Protostar Labs, evolution in computer vision data annotation. Hi? Somebody say something. I don't know. Okay, no problem. This is something expected in this new normal thing. Just go out of the bloom and say something. Philip is with us. Come, Philip, on the stage. Here is you had your presentation is up. You have some videos. Hope they will work fine. This is your 3 minutes, and the stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Philip and I will present you Voxel, data annotation tool developed by Protostar Labs. We all know that data is the key component of modern AI systems. Cutting-edge AI solutions depend heavily on large amounts of data. For example, if we want to build a computer vision model to recognize cars, we need training data. We need to annotate every object, every car on the image like you can see on the slide. It is usually done manually. That process is time-consuming, expensive, and limited. Okay, in this case, you can see manual data annotation in action. We need to annotate every frame separately. In the case of Voxel, if we want to annotate that same scene, we are doing a 3D reconstruction, and we build 3D model of the scene, and we annotate whole video sequence at once. If we compare these two methods, for manual data annotation, in case of fruits dataset with 600 frames, it took around 21 hours to annotate all frames. In case of Voxel, it took us just 2 hours. Besides that, if we compare these two methods, manual data annotation is limited to polygons and bounding boxes. In case of Voxel, we can annotate literally anything, from depth, poses, surface normals to optical flow. We can see Voxel can be applied also to more complex tasks, such as annotating data for autonomous driving industry. Sorry. Okay. It won't start. Just a second. This one. Just stand here. Okay. I think we don't now works. You can see Voxel in action here on a scene in Osijek. We annotated this video sequence with our method. Input to our system is raw video sequence, and the output is completely annotated dataset ready for machine learning model training. There are many companies that are doing data annotations with large number of human annotators. However, all these companies are not our direct competitors, since they are not able to deliver completely annotated dataset. They are not able to deliver precise depth. They are not able to deliver precise pose or optical flow. On the other side, we didn't see there are some other existing solutions on the market, and in the scientific community, research is just starting. According to the new report by Grand View Research, data annotation tools market size was around $400 million in 2019. It is expected to reach 2.57 billion by 2027. It is expanding at 26.9% per year. So far, we finished one pilot project with ROM Technologies. ROM is provider of autonomous navigation software for material handling industry. On the right, you can see some of the frames we annotated. We managed to annotate completely their complete dataset in short time. Also, we are in the process of writing scientific paper. We will publish our method and validate it and describe it. Our team consists of 8 people. 6 of them are actually working full-time in company, and 2 of them are working part-time. And out of our team, there are 2 people who hold a PhD degree in physics. And that's it.
Okay.
Thank you for your attention.
So
small problems and...
Yeah, no problem. Just take this mic, hear it in your hand and talk in them. Okay. That's the problem with mics and everything, but you did it well and you held bravely, with all the problems. So, okay, like this. Yeah. So, let's go to the question for Philip. Raya, then Michal.
Tell us a bit more how you were able to achieve this full annotation.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Can you tell us a bit more about the methods you're using to achieve this full annotation? Like, why are you doing it better than everyone else? I'm sure they've spent lots of time on their algorithms.
Okay, we have seen some tries in some papers, but we didn't see something similar on the market. First part of our pipeline is 3D reconstruction. We are doing a very precise 3D reconstruction of scene, and then we have a lot of tools that help us make 3D model of whole scene.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just use this one because problem also with the technique. And we will going to somewhere here, or I will take it. Okay, just a second, guys. Okay. Sorry, it's normal. It's new normal. Okay. Please continue.
First step is 3D reconstruction of the scene. It is not perfect, of course, and then we are trying to make perfect models. We are doing 3D modeling of the scene, and when we annotate, for example, if we have car on the scene, we put 3D model of the car on the scene, and we annotate whole video sequence at once. We are not doing annotation frame by frame like it is done manually in the standard way. We are annotating whole video sequence, whole how to say it. In manual data annotation, they are doing frame by frame. They are concentrated on images. We are concentrated on videos. I'm sure that some larger companies have some similar solution in-house, but on market, I didn't see something similar.
Okay, thanks. I think Michal had the first question, then Belizar, and then Cosmin.
Sure. Hi. So the question from my side is whether you tackle some use cases first that, where you say that your algos perform better than in other industries. I don't know, maybe you go first for automotive or something else. Are you skewed toward any segment of the market now?
Okay. Method is still a bit limited by length of video sequences. We are able to annotate video sequences of, let's say, few tens of minutes. But if you translate that to frames, we are able to annotate thousands of frames. For example, for ROM, we were able to annotate 2,000 frames in relatively short period of time. According to our estimations, and that will be published in our paper, we are a bit faster when it comes to the single frames than the standard annotators. Then the annotators who are doing frame by frame, doing semantic segmentation on every frame on every image. Yeah.
Thanks, Cosmin.
Who are your ideal customer? I mean, to whom do you intend to sell this solution?
Yeah.
Because it's okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
On the other side, that would be some larger automotive companies. And on the other side, there are, for example, companies that are doing or are building autonomous mobile robots for industry, for logistics, or something similar. The client provides us raw video sequence, preferably with GPS data, and we are doing complete data annotations, and we deliver data, annotated data.
Thanks. Belizar?
Are you making the human annotation more effective, or you completely replace the need of human annotators?
No, we need human annotators. It is some kind of new paradigm, let's say it that way. We are annotating video sequences, and we have a bunch of tools that help us do it faster. And we can, I think the real value of Voxel, we can deliver precise depth, we can deliver object poses, we can deliver optical flow. It is literally impossible to do it standard way.
Okay, thanks. Stevica?
If I understand correctly, you are still in product development mode, right?
Yeah, we are currently looking for some potential partnerships with other companies like ROMB, where we can validate our approach.
Considering that, are you looking for a raise?
To be honest, we are still not sure. At first we are looking for some potential partnerships, and on the other side, we are open for discussion. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks. Any other question? No, going once, going twice. Philip, you are sold only for the time, but who knows? Maybe some of them will try to invest in your company. You did it great. Thanks. One again, applause for Philip. Yeah. So when I was trying to get in connection with the guys from VC funds there, and you see now on the screen, you see a lot of names, and you always, have a problem as a human to recognize the names and how to pronounce it. And imagine that you are a software and you are AI and you need to understand all the names all around the world. You would have a lot of problems. So there come the guys, and they think they can make solution for that kind of the problem. They are next on the stage. They call Nomantech. Here with us is Sinisha. Sinisha, this is your switcher. Can we get presentation up? Sinisha, you have 3 minutes.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you all. I feel sort of not very serious considering everybody's solving all these major problems that I got this thing with names. But why are names important? First of all, nomen comes from Latin for name. What we do is we sit on the intersection between computers and names. What you see is a standard form. Everywhere you go across the internet, you see this one form: first name, middle name, last name. So how do you fit all these wonderful names that are behind me in this stupid little form? I don't, this is the solution that we're trying to provide for people. Okay, the problem is twofold. So we have people, when they interact in a in the society that we have today, you encounter all sorts of names all the time. You don't know how to pronounce them. And if you hear someone and you're talking to someone, for instance, I put this Kohinoor, a friend of mine from India. When I first met her, when I first heard of her, I didn't know what her gender is whatsoever, because with a name like that, you just don't know. But apparently, you figure it out. What we're trying to do with computers, we're trying to make the computers understand just not for the name, not just to be just one entry in like an Excel spreadsheet. What we're trying to do is essentially make the computers learn names as a category, like as one of Aristotle's 8 categories. Okay, so when you're communicating with someone in a marketing way, this is from an actual letter I got from some people when I lived in the United States. They addressed me as Dear Miss Sinia Fuji the Fifth. Look at me, I am not Sinia the Fuji or Fifth, but here we go. So we decided to use this solution. We just use one name bar, and we let the AI do the rest. You let it sort out what's going on. So there's, the AI actually does the analysis, and it tells you something about the person whose name you actually put in, the sex, the gender of the person that you're actually entering, and the country of origin. And it also can self-correct. If you're typing in something on a computer, it says David Guerra. No, did you mean David? Right, everybody knows David. So, well, We are, what other things that this could be useful for? Every time people are interacting with regards to names. So in legal tech, there used to be like 10,000 pages was a lot. If you have one legal case, 10,000 pages is a lot. But today, it's not unusual to have 2.5 million pages of text. And when you have 2.5 million pages of text, you really need to separate out names and facts very soon, very, very fast. So this is where it could happen. And of course, when it comes to border crossing or tourism, when you meet people and you want to help with pronouncing their names or telling who they are, where they come from, this is what could happen. So we are very early stage. We don't think this is, we don't plan on keeping this forever and ever. We want to sell after we've done this. And thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So let's go with the question. Marcin first. You can see them here downstairs on the
great.
TV. Yeah,
wonderful.
What's your go-to market?
Well, we're trying. What we can do is we can clean up. If you have a huge database of names, we can clean it up for you and set it straight, so you don't have any problems. So that's what we're trying to sell. This is the product that we have to sell. In an API, use the freemium model. For instance, just wanted to make like a WordPress plugin, so everyone can use it, and then we can use this to train our AI. So if the AI does not recognize the name or location or just whatever the user puts in, it prompts you to tag it yourself. So you're using other people to train the AI, like Mechanical Turks.
Okay, thanks. Further questions? Todor, then Raya.
So who is the perfect client for the time being?
We're looking for any large multinational that has like large databases of names, that personal data they want to manage. This is what we're looking for. Like I said, we're very, very early stage. So like Marriott, for instance, they probably need some help with things of that nature. Anyone who is in tourism industry or anyone who is in retail sales, they have huge lists, marketing lists that they want to manage very well.
Okay, thanks. Raya, the same question, was it, or?
Similar question. I wanted to ask, what's the main application? Is it within marketing or like sales and marketing or something else?
You can definitely use it in sales and marketing, but yes, the main thing now is to use it in sales and marketing to clear up whatever junk you have in your huge databases. But it can be integrated with other things as well.
Okay, thanks. Next question. No? Okay, Vedran.
I saw the slide you skipped. It was about the investment.
Right, because we have all this money and we're already reaching potential and we're reaching customers. Like I said, we're very early stage. We've invested over 10,000 euros so far and lots of time. What we're really looking to do is expand into other markets. We understand the Western alphabet, we understand Western names, but when it comes to Hebrew names, when it comes to Arabic names, when it comes to Brahmic alphabet, and you like Indian names, it gets very complicated. Just to understand the scope, there are 45,000 different personal names in Croatia with variations. So this is only Croatia. You have millions of names worldwide, and this is like a basic computer problem. You're trying to make the computer understand what a name is and to recognize a name. So this is like almost basic computer research. I don't know how else to put it. That's how I perceive it.
So what about the investment?
Well, we're open to investment if people are looking to invest in this very early stage. We are looking to negotiate and talk about what people want to do with this. And if they find potential in this, I would definitely like something like that.
Okay, thanks, Vedran. Any other question? You guys, Raya?
Can your technology be applied to something else later? Like once you've tackled the names, can you do it in another area?
Yeah, Well, I haven't thought about that. What I thought about is integrating it. One very interesting aspect is a virtual, not voice recognition, but voice verification, where you would. Everyone has a voice signature, and if we could pair that out, we could actually sell it to someone much bigger, like Palantir or somebody else who's into security business, and this is one of the things that actually I think can be further developed.
Okay, thanks. Any more questions? No. Thank you, Sinisa.
Thank you.
Get applause. I was just looking some guys in the audience who done the work with Indian, and they were smiling. Yeah, I had a problem with their names. I didn't know who they were, but they did a quite successful job. But I think this kind of software definitely could help them. Okay, so we have 2 startups left. The next startups that we are going to see, I think it's going to be quite interesting, and it's going to take all your attention because it's betting on one gaming industry, especially esports. It's going to be really interesting to see what they can do and make a solution in that area. So, Goran, you're here. This is your clicker.
Yeah,
please, 3 minutes. This is yours.
Okay, thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Goran. I'm one of the co-founders at the Imba Factory. Imba Factory is the esports data company, primarily focused to solve the problems that are related to these 2 pillars. The first pillar, esports betting, and the problems within these pillars are lack of real-time in-play markets and revenue loss to unnecessary suspensions of the markets. And regarding the second pillar, the esports data, 2 main problems here are lack of standardization and untapped potential due to low quality of the real-time data. All these problems are basically taken into the solution with our product, and they are described as the AI-powered odds which we are providing and which are solving the problems regarding the esports betting industry. And by the way, we can provide multiple markets for pre-match and live betting with high availability. Regarding esports data, here we solve those problems by providing the multiple games through the one API and most granular and frequent live data on the market. Okay, in the nutshell, Imba Factory can be described with 3-step process. The first one is the extract, the second is the process, and third is delivery. So basically, we extract the data from the games, we process them using machine learning algorithms, and we provide the statistics and insights together with odds to our target audience. Target audience is divided into the 3 groups. The first one is the betting operators, the second one is the streaming and media companies, and the third one is esports startups. Each of these groups have their own values which we can increase by providing them the data and odds. Some of the use cases for these groups can be seen on the screen. For example, on the left side of the screen, you can see an example how the betting industry can use our data and odds. On the bottom of the screen, you can see how this data can be shown as statistical indicators for, let's say, explaining what's happening in the game. And the third one is how you can increase the engagement of the viewership on your stream. So everything happens within the market of the esports, which is a year-to-year growing market. For now, it's on the 1 billion revenue in 2020, and it's estimated within 3 years to go almost up to 2.3 billion. Regarding the audience, current market is the 500 million people, and it's expected to grow around 700 million in 2023. At the end, everything is accomplished by the team of 4 members, which are focused on the different things within the project, from the product to the engineering to the data science. Thank you, and we are open to investments and employment.
Okay. Thank you, Goran. Like there is not enough problem with the betting real time in a world. Now we have to bet on esports, but this is the time. Stevica from here.
What stage are you in, and how much are you raising, and on what valuation?
Okay, so we are in a stage where we covered one game from three. When I'm saying three games are basically 80% of the esports market right now. So it's Dota 2, LoL, and CSGO. So currently we have the demo product with the Dota 2, with the complete data extraction and providing this data through the WebSocket and REST API so you can connect. And we have some potential customers already testing it in the last 1 month. We are raising in the range from 250K to 500K with the percentage and evaluation from, let's say, 2.5 million to 3.5 million euros.
Okay, thanks for the questions. Belizard and Cosmin.
When do you expect to have your first sale?
Regarding the first sale, we are expecting to have at least one for the first quarter of the next year. So right now, we are currently negotiating with the 3 potential customers, and we are expecting to close at least one at the beginning of the next year.
And these are betting companies?
One is the betting company, one is the streaming/media company, and one is the esports startup. So we choose one of the potential customers from each target group that was described.
Okay, thanks. Cosmin?
So my question was kind of similar with the previous ones. It was also related to the commercial rollout, but I can build on it. So how do you plan actually to sell? I mean, how this is supposed to be sold, this solution? You're gonna go, I don't know, door to door, doing cold calls, or how?
Yeah, it's more related to the solution selling methodology. So we were talking with the betting operators a lot, and mostly what they said is basically that they are willing to accept to increase their offering to the esports market, especially from this year, because like they said, esports the gambling revenue from the last year was 7 billion. In this year, it's almost 13 billion. So it's almost 100% increase. So basically, yeah, we have the list of 1,500 betting operators that we are planning to reach and try to talk with them and expand their offering to the esports section.
Okay, thanks for the questions. Raya?
Can you make your own betting company?
Yes, we can.
Will you make it?
No.
Everything
started as a project, as a passion project, where we were building the bot that will beat the market. So we actually did that 2 years ago, and then we switched to more consistent business model, which is selling these odds to the betting operators. So yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. Another question? No? Okay.
I may have missed this, but can you tell us which are the other 2 games?
Which are the other?
The other 2 games that you're planning to
release? The second one that we are planning to release is CSGO. So it's Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Because it's on the same platform as the Dota 2 that we already done. It's the Valve Corporation that holds the both games. And it's basically the same approach will be used for the extraction and the process part for both games. The third one is the League of Legends, which is produced by the company named Riot, and it's a little bit different approach to extract the data from there. They have, I would say, at least 5 times better system right now where we could get this data and prepare it for the market. So yeah.
Okay, nice. In my time, when I play Counter-Strike, nobody would bet on me. That was other times. Cosmin, you wanted to ask a question or? No, it was just, yeah, okay. No. I just misinterpreted it, your sign. Okay, so if this is it, we are going. Thanks you, Goran, once again. And so we go to the last startup, and we going to the Bratislava now. We have Justin Lane there. So it's kind of a mixed startup with partners from around the countries, and Croatia is one of them. And Justin, do you hear us? We saw you on the screen. Yeah, you look nice in the suit. I didn't almost recognize you, you know, so gallant and everything. So you have 3 minutes to present your story.
Very good. Let's have this move here.
Yeah.
So everyone can see this, I assume. Very good.
Yes.
So thank you guys all for your time and for your attention. Allen Analytics is a very early stage AI startup, and our focus is creating digital twins of the market based on psychological profiles that are generated from text data. So there are a couple of different problems that we're trying to address here. One of them is the nature of change. A lot of AI, of course, is based almost entirely today in machine learning, where historical data is brought to bear on a problem, and you hope that your model can generalize to the future. Our system is a mixture of machine learning and non-machine learning. The other problem, of course, is that beliefs are driving purchases. A lot of people are trying to look at sentiment when they're analyzing online social media data in particular, and trying to drive based on engagements of likes, retweets, favorites, etc. Whereas we are trying to get a little bit deeper and allow people to have a lens on the actual beliefs of a customer base. Other people have tried to do this in the past, of course, Clearbrain and Chattermill, both of which are reliant on historical data. They're either focusing on aspect-based sentiment analysis or linear regressions. We're focused on a psychologically realistic approach towards algorithmic modeling based in cognitive science. Our approach takes those different algorithms where we've approximated the psychological properties of each individual, and then creates a digital twin of that market. So it's not sort of an average profile. It's a one-to-one recreation of the thousands of individuals that have probably used that hashtag or participated in that subreddit. And this allows people to predict behavior and plan interactions and build a brand. So we think that there's a number of different uses here. Of course, you can track sentiment by hour using this platform. Positive and negative emotion are some of the things we track, but it goes a lot further than that. We're also able to recreate beliefs using a schema-based process from cognitive psychology. We are looking at gender and temporal focus, if it's male, female, past, present, or future. What kind of moral signatures there are. So this is live data that comes out of our tracking of the 2020 election in the United States, for example. What sort of profile regarding sociality are they talking to friends and family? What are their fears? Are they afraid of contagion? Is COVID a main issue for your market, for example? The ability to track offensive language and hate speech, always pertinent in social media in 2020, and a sad fact of today, but something that we're also able to do with this platform. This lets us craft the meaningful engagement. We can also use this data to test a tweet, to see if a tweet is going to perform better or worse than another option using the same database. Currently, it's being used by the Norwegian government in their COVID crisis response. We're in discussion with Reddit about trying to set up some possibility to use the system there, a think tank in Boston, and we've already had one client in the past that utilized this to offset a script sale to $20 million in the United States. The team is pretty small. This comes out of my research from my doctoral degree at Oxford University. I've partnered with a professor in Norway who's been a close friend and collaborator, as well as Maja Roknitz, who's there in Zagreb, actually, and a close friend and colleague, Brian Switzkow, who's the founder of One in the United States.
Okay,
that's us.
Thanks a lot. Applause, please. Yeah, Alan. Nice. So, questions, guys. You left them speechless, questionless.
What is the business model?
Yeah. Okay. Somebody asked
the business model. So currently, we've been working as almost as more of a boutique consulting firm, but we're working to productize this. We have basically a workflow and pipeline that we're replicating with customers that come out of years of consultancy prior to incorporating this as a corporate entity. So we want to productize that pipeline and allow that to be a scalable business model. How we monetize that, I'm open to suggestions, of course. I was thinking something like a subscription-based model for heavy users.
Here I am, Raya.
I was waiting for the go ahead. Question on the types of markets you can replicate. Is it universally? And what type of data do you need on the input to be able to replicate that?
So the analytics engine can work on any text data so long as we have a user code associated with it. So social media data is very easy because there's a username associated with it. I mean, if we went to something like, I guess, 4chan or 8chan, we'd have problems because everything's anonymous. But we can utilize the usernames and aggregate their previous activity and create the psychological profiles off of that. So it's fairly universal. We are focusing on Twitter and Reddit due to data availability and the fact that we're one of the only groups that really has an edge on what's going on Reddit right now.
Thanks for the questions.
How many, if I can continue with this, how many people do you need to analyze to replicate the market behavior?
Depends on the size of the market. We can replicate a single individual if that is of particular interest to a customer. We've never had that use case, but the system will work on that basis. The more the merrier.
Dating would be a good.
Yes, so we actually have had, we're currently talking with a travel and experiences company in the United Kingdom, for example, to try and match sort of a market of one to a market of many. That is to say, the person traveling to all of the different tours and experiences that would be offered in their target location. So trying to match the market in a different way, right, than trying to just assume it's a consumer market. Trying to put the consumer as the chooser and have them have the business market be the choice that they can make.
Okay, thanks. Raya, will you continue with the question, or is there any question then that cross any of your others? Cosmin, brother.
Look, the product so far, or at least what we are doing, it's a little bit, how it's to say, abstract, because I mean, actually there is no real product for the time being. I wanted to ask you, why are you doing this? I mean, why did you start to do that? I mean, just because you show that you can do it, or do you want to achieve something more, let's say, more pragmatic with this?
With the development of the technology or the development of the product?
Both, because
Both.
Right now, I mean, right now there is no product.
Right now the product, it's a service, right? And so trying to move this into a product so that it can be more scalable. Because this is so repetitive, having a client takes a lot of time, and time is money. It's my time in particular. And I think that, we could really scale this a lot more easily with an online platform that could allow a vetted set of users. This is not technology that I'm comfortable allowing anybody to use, for example. And that allows it to be more efficient. It allows it to be more scalable. The technology itself, though, was, as I mentioned briefly, developed out of my doctoral research at Oxford. And
so you basically develop it just because you want to show that you can do it?
Because I needed to. Yeah, it was because I needed to. So my research at the time was focused on social instability issues, and I needed a way to better understand how individual psychology can be moved from a qualitative aspect related to an individual's identity and their participation with their group, their market, their community.
Sorry, can I interrupt you? Because it sounds, it sounds too abstract, and I mean, I really don't understand. Maybe you can explain in more simple words what is this digital twin all about, because I don't get it, sorry.
Yeah. So the digital twin is creating a digital approximation of the psychological profile of an individual. Mm-hmm. What is they're interested in? What is their psychological profile? What does their personality look like? What are their interests and beliefs? And the interests and beliefs are the core aspects, structuring the data in a way that it's not a list of things that they like. This is not just like a word count, for example, but structuring complex networks of beliefs and how individual meaning.
And how is this different from, let's say, Cambridge Analytica? Because it was basically going in the same direction. So I just guess your social media.
Yeah. So Cambridge Analytica.
It's just about how they use it, but at the end, I mean, at the core, I think it's the same story. You are just clustering and putting together all this data, and you get some profiles.
I disagree. And the core reason that I disagree is that Cambridge Analytica was heavily based in machine learning. This is an algorithmic approach that's based in evolutionary psychology, not just machine learning. We can leverage machine learning, but we go further than what Cambridge Analytica was doing. We also, I argue, take a more psychologically valid approach to what we do than Cambridge Analytica. The lexical approach to personality is far more realistic than the linear regression approach that they took at Cambridge Analytica.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. And please don't go further than Cambridge Analytica. we don't want another.
So
we don't
in
want
our
another
media
and
coverage,
better.
we've already been compared to them in the past. So I hope to distance myself from that legacy.
Okay. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, this was the last AI startup. Please, Raya and the guys, you get the sheet with the names. So please send us your grades, votes, so we can pronounce the 3 best out of 10. There was one missing. It was Alan. So please take this into the consideration. Maybe if you would like, you can stick to the end of the conference, because we're going to have the presentation from the global lead from Facebook from US, Norberto Andrade. It might be interesting for you to watch it if you don't have anything else to do. And maybe it would be interesting to see now, because before the Facebook, we're going to have the short presentation about the first AI incubator in Croatia. That's is one of the project from Business Intelligence or Poslovna Inteligencija data science company in Croatia, one of the leading data science company, and they are starting their AI incubator. And maybe one, two, or more of these AI startups that we had opportunity to hear now could be their first tenants there. And so I will call my dear colleague Marko. He's from Poslovna Inteligencija. He will present what they will do. Hi, Marko. They got nice office stores and rooms for the guys who are starting the AI startups. Marko, please tell us what you are doing.
Thank you, Željko. So first I'm going to present Poslovna Inteligencija, so who we are and why are we doing this. So this Bird Incubator is our top project for next year. For all of you that already do not know about Poslovna Inteligencija, we are leading company in Croatia dealing with data analytics, and we are present not only in region, but also we have offices in Vienna and in London. What are we dealing with? Our solution areas are data warehouses, business and intelligence, data integration, data quality, also planning and budgeting, master data management, data governance, predictive modeling, big data analytics, so everything related to data. So we are a company with about 120 employees in Croatia and Zagreb. And the company exists for more than 20 years, almost 20 years, like since 2001. We offer services from strategic ICT consulting to implementations of IT systems. So what is Bird Incubator for Analytics and AI? Why Bird? So Bird is our international brand, which means business intelligence, research and development, and that's where it comes from. And incubator is actually we plan it to offer co-working space for teams that have ideas related to data analytics and artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we are a company specialized for data analytics, and we want to start incubator for data analytics and artificial intelligence projects. We will not target only Croatia, but we want to support teams from whole region, even from Europe and whole world. So what we would like to provide like development hub and like perfect combination of lifestyle and working environment for creative teams in segment of artificial intelligence and data analytics. So what we will provide? We'll provide complete infrastructure for teams, workplace meeting rooms, support of leading mentors in the industry, and we plan to work on hop on, hop off mode with maximum stay of 6 months. So idea is to provide infrastructure for teams in early phase. So we will not. That's our idea, to attract teams that have idea in early phase. Also, we plan to support 2 types of cases where teams are pitching for incubator with their own projects, and also we already signed some industry partners, and they will sponsor and award teams. They will define cases which should be solved by the teams in incubator. Also, we will offer access to regional VC representatives. Who are mentors for Bird Incubator? From Poslovna Inteligencija, mentors will be our board members, Dražen, Anita, and Lydia. Also, my colleague Marijan Bračić, director of data privacy department, Poslovna Inteligencija, and product manager of our data privacy manager product, and myself, Marko Štajcer, director of innovation and development department. Other mentors that are already confirmed, that are big names in Croatian IT space. It will be Bernard Grum, Damir Sabol, Davor Runje, Luka Abrus, Marko Linke, Mislav Malenica, Ratko Matovčić, Stevica Kuharski-Tana, Barančić, Vuk Vuković, Željko Riha, and more to come. So these are just mentors that we already reached agreement with. Also, we already have 2 sponsors. We defined partnership with United Group and Atlantic Grupa. So I suppose you all know for Atlantic Grupa, but United Group is also present on Croatian market with N1 Television, Nova TV, and Tele2. So they are like mother company of them. And also Bird Incubator is supported by CISEX, CroAI, Hamak Bikro. Also we have agreed partnership with FAIR and FOI, 2 biggest faculties related to information science. Also, we already have arranged partnership with Phil Rouge Capital and Feels Good VC investors. What are facilities of Bird Incubator? We will have modern office with about 450 square meters in center of Zagreb, near Hub 385. So it's in same tech district, Petrašićeva 4, where is Hub 385 and Fabrika. So Poslovna Inteligencija is based in Fabrika, and this will be this office will be located very near offices of Poslovna Inteligencija. We will have workplaces, meeting rooms, and education center. Open space for meetups and hackathons. And soon we will release our web for incubator, birdincubator.com, with more details. So far we have just this is how incubator space will look like. Currently, we are in the phase of development, so everything is going to be ready by the end of the year. So, what's the timeline? Till the end of the year, we are still in office preparation, and office will be ready by the time. Also, we are signing contracts with partners, sponsors, and supporters. And we are defining our first use cases with our partners, United Group and Atlantic Grupa. And for until 15th of January next year, we plan to have initial selection for the first teams that will be in incubator, and we already have first team that is selected, and this is Team Turistko. They won second place in open data hackathon organized by Hamak Bikram. And official opening of Bird Incubator is planned for 15 January next year. Well, that's it from my side. So if you have any questions, welcome.
Okay, yes, we have one question there. Where is Mike? Mike is there. Okay, Leon. So probably maybe one of inhabitants.
I was just preparing to clap, but I'll figure out one question. Do you have any other partners that might join into the sponsors?
Yeah, we are still in negotiations.
Okay, thanks.
Do you have somebody specific in mind?
Yeah.
Because you work in agriculture, so.
No.
No. So they can start talking, with that partners.
Yeah, with these two partners, we already have agreement. We reached agreement, but we are still in negotiations with other partners. But one slide is missing that are technology partners. So we already have agreement with IBM, Databricks, Informatica, Vertica, some partners that will offer cloud infrastructure and technology for teams that will be in our incubator.
Okay, thanks. Any other question? So did you watch the CroAI startup pitch? Did you see anybody interesting so you can see some new potential tenants of your incubator?
Yeah, there were a lot of nice ideas, and maybe some of them already there may be even
step further
than incubation phase. But yeah, for sure there are a few teams that are interesting for us, and if you also see this as something that could be helpful to develop your idea further, please let us know.
Any cooperation with academia? Stronger?
Yeah, with Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Faculty of Organization and Informatics.
They will offer like mentorship or?
Mentorship and probably, I can say for sure with FOI now they have data lab, and we offer some cases for their students in data lab. So sometimes we ask them for advice, and so it's some kind of mutual help.
Okay, how did you come to idea just to open? Like there was a open space, so we can do it. Let's make something there, or.
Well, we are looking forward how to do something better, and how to develop new use cases for our clients. So we are trying to innovate in our company, but also this is like next step how we can move also Croatian economy and drive it forward. So we cannot base only on tourism. So I think we have competencies to do much more, and we have strong experience in our company, and we find like space where we can position that.
Okay, this sounds quite interesting project that you are making, and it's nice to finally have like first AI incubator here in Croatia, because we are trying to bet heavily now on AI. Everybody, all the ecosystems. So just to have some incubator.
Yeah, of course, and we also want to attract teams not only from Croatia but also international teams, and someone from. Anyone with good idea.
Okay. Do you try to aim the specific area, or
The data analytics and AI. So
data analytics.
Yeah,
and
that's
AI.
something that differs us from other incubators.
Okay, and not part of the industry like tourism, finance. No, or you're open.
No, we are open. We are open to all the industries.
Okay, great. So we keep fingers crossed, but as we see, this is start to move.
Yeah.
So I guess it's going to be nice. Incubator will definitely follow the progress and be part of the all the works there.
Yeah.
So
great.
thanks again for doing so.
Thank
for
you.
doing it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, of course. Give me the elbow. So guys, ili ti ljudi, došli smo mi do kraja. Ja sam stvarno umorio, vjerujem da i vi, ali rekli smo da ćemo na kraju reći koja 3 startupa su bila najbolja po izboru naših VC fondova i naša draga Marijana je radila neumorno zadnjih sat vremena da dođe do tih brojaka, da dođe do onih koji će bez algoritama, radila je ručno samo na svojoj prirodnoj inteligenciji, da dođe do toga. I tako da ćemo mi sad, dakle, ajmo ovak, ovo je samo ono koji su ostavili utisak, znači nema sad tu niti novaca, niti posebne nagrade, ali mislimo da priznanje od ljudi koji prate investicijsku scenu AI u svijetu i Europi je dobro dobiti onak priznanje, tako da ćemo vidjeti prvi, šta po broju bodova, najbolji ili? Najbolji odmah. 1, 2, 3, idemo, 1 je 2 metra.
Možeš ti pročitati.
Aha. Prvi je Robotic AI. Ajmo, pa vidi ovo. To je to, Darko je super. Ostani tu, budemo još poslije napravili svi sliku.
Ali 2 metra par.
Da. Drugi je Uhura Solution, ako mogu doći s Crne Gore, sad skočiti samo da ovo pokupe. Naravno da ne mogu, tako da ćemo mi ovo... ja ću biti u sredini, Marijana, ti ćeš držati. Na Zoomu je. Aj ga pusti, jel ga možeš pustiti malo? Mladene, jesi tu? Pute, pa trebaš ti... Dođi do...
Hi guys!
Hi, Mladen.
We had a huge rainfall in Montenegro, so my internet connection was down for a couple of last half an hour. So I just jumped in and thank you very much. I'm so surprised.
So you jump in the car and coming to Croatia to collect your
Yes.
your table, huh?
I will ask someone to pick it up for me. I have I mentioned that we have cooperation with ABC Tech Group, who is present in Croatia, so I will ask them. So thank you very much.
No problem.
Very meaningful.
No problem. We'll give you some of PR stuff in our channels, so be here for that. Great. See you next year for the table.
Yeah,
maybe tonight. And
so for a drink or two.
Of course. And third is Protostar Labs. So where are the guys? Okay. Philip, it doesn't mean that the others are not doing great, or it was a tight score. So yeah, okay. Okay. So Mariana, will you take for you, Hura, and stay in the middle because lady in the middle.
I'm from Montenegro.
Yeah. Who would recognize you behind the mask and so on? Okay, that's great. One applause for the guys. You did great.